Why do I keep coming back to a man that doesn't even know I exist? Like, what is wrong with me? That's how I felt when I found my celebrity crush 4 years ago. And I was so embarrassed because this man will never be an option. And I just came out of an endless cycle of like some things, relationships that never went anywhere. And I was so mad at myself. But now, 4 years later, I can clearly see how he changed my life for the better and helped me become my dream woman. So, if you're currently confused, embarrassed, and feel guilty, I want to ease your mind and share my story with you because he is in your life. He's been placed in your field for a reason because he's not a crush, he is a channel. First of all, I'm Anna, and welcome to another episode of Love Diary, my reflections on love and dating as a young lady becoming a woman, as a young lady becoming a wife in the 21st century. That way. Okay, what do I mean with he is not a crush but a channel? So, of course, there are girls who fantasize and are obsessed with their idols, but you're not like that. You can be fantasizing or being inspired by someone. And the universe, God, whatever you resonate with, always uses the channel of least resistance to get their message to you. And if you're anything like me, if you're really self-aware and you're serious about your love life and you really don't want to fantasize about this perfect man because you know he doesn't exist, then he is a channel. You're not like those, teenage girls that dream. I mean, it's a good thing, right? It still gives you a role model and something you can look forward to, but you're very much grounded in your life. So he is a channel for the divine to get a message to you. And by sharing my story that I want to dive into now, you can see how this was playing out in my life, right? To give you a very hands-on illustration on how this can work out. Okay, I'm excited to share that with you. Right. So when did I find my celebrity crush? I never crushed on men, and as I said, I will say he's a channel. Okay, my celebrity channel. Let's put it that way, because I don't think that he's perfect, and I'm not waiting for him, thinking that he will save me or anything. But I did find him in winter of 2021. I think YouTube Shorts was just becoming a thing, and I was scrolling through that. I'm not really a social media person, so I had no idea what's going on in the whole celebrity world, and I was just scrolling, and there was this guy, apparently popular, but I had absolutely no idea who he is. Obviously, very handsome, but what stood out to me was the way he cared for other people. There was this one scene, I think with it was an older man and a bald head, and he had stage glitter on his forehead. And my celebrity crush was carefully picking up those golden glitter. And something about that, when you see someone and you just resonate with them and you don't even know who they are or where they come from and what they believe, but you just feel, oh, something's different, even if it's just with a friend. However, my mind was getting in the way, and I asked myself, but I don't know who he is. Why would I care? Like, is that him? I remember I asked my intuition, is that him? Like, is that the one for me? And my initial intuition, my initial gut feeling said, no, it's not the man you're going to marry. Okay, then, so why would I care? Some days passed by. I was very bored in my bed. I watched any YouTube video that I could possibly can. And I had no idea what to do with my life at that point. I was so frustrated, and my studies went really hard. Like, there were a lot of things going on at college. And there was this little voice again in my head. Anna, you can look him up. You don't have to, but you could. And surprise, I did give in. I typed his name into the Google and YouTube search bar, and the rest is history. So many interviews, so many lifestyle content, so many variety shows that he was on. And watching all this content with him, I was mind blown. I've never seen anyone treat people like that or think like that. And I had a little container issue, as my mentor likes to say. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? He doesn't know I exist. Like, why do I like him? Why do I keep coming back to all his content? And I remember there was even that very random clip of him. He said something about, I want to have kids younger because I want to be their best friend and have fun with them, go clubbing with them. And my crazy mind thought, oh my God, that's how I want the father of my future children to be like. And I was shocked. I've never thought something like this. In fact, I've never been in a relationship. So all those years I was waiting to finally meet my person. I was in school, there were some guys I liked, but it never went anywhere. Then at college, I thought now is my time, because so many married couples told me they met in college. And there was in fact someone who also lived in my village, and I've never met. That's very funny because my village is very, very small. However, it didn't work out with him as well. He was showing some signs of interest, but it just became another almost relationship story until I ended it and walked away from what I call the cycle of some things. I think there's a video about that as well. So a relationship that never really goes anywhere, but you feel there is a connection, and that was just an endless story. Especially because I walked away from this, I was even more mad at myself for now spending hours consuming content of this man in particular. Like, that just seemed like a huge step back, and I was, why? But I also, I couldn't stop. Can you relate with this? Like, just tell me I'm not the only one. And yeah, what did I want to say? I got so passionate. Oh yeah, what I realized after I saw this man. I always knew that everything happens for me, and there's a reason that all of the guys that I like, that I never went anywhere. But when I found this man online, I knew I was at the right place, and I've been protected all those years. I never saw anyone like him before. And I thought, if this is out there, then I do see myself in love and having a relationship. So at first, he became this North Star for me. He became a picture of what is possible in a man that I can then work towards being the reciprocal of. So what happened after I watched this content and being mad at myself for so many hours? I think it's so ridiculous how much I fight it with myself. Maybe it's familiar to you, your little head, and then you're talking with yourself what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Yes, however, I've noticed after I broke the cycle of some things, there was a habit. So we always choose our experiences, and if you keep experiencing the same cycles with different men, I'm sorry, it has something to do with your energy, or just the way you choose men. And what I realized, I already knew that. But after I broke that cycle of some things, there were like a few guys at college that showed interest. And just like when you reorganize your room and your keys are now on your right instead of your left, when you open that door, the first instinct is to put it left, like it has always been. You're just in this pattern. And then you need to remind yourself, oh, wait, the right. And that's how I felt. I could observe myself, how I was just reacting to the littlest signs of just attention and interest from those men. even though they were never making a move on me, and that was never their intention. They just maybe genuinely liked me and were interested in me. But I thought, oh, okay, now they like me. Oh, I think maybe this is the one. That was my pattern, and I could catch myself in that moment just for a few seconds and realize, oh my God, yes, I was the one choosing men who weren't in a position to actually make things happen. Why do I tell you this? With this new man in my life, because he was in my life in a way, my best friend was right. She told me, but he is in your life. Maybe just online, but he is. And that's so true. He became the North Star because I remember this one party. One of the guys that liked me, there was only one chair left, and he was sitting there the entire time, and I was standing next to him. And my brain was like, oh, maybe we could be a match. And he showed some signs of interest. And then I again catch myself. Would he do this? My celebrity crush? Would he actually let me stand while he's taking the last available seat? This man, no, never, never. Oh. And that happened a few times to me. So he really changed my self-conscious and what to look out for in a man. You can watch a lot of provider content and what qualities to look for in a man. The problem is if you don't really have a picture and how that feels like, it's just information. And this man, God was definitely placing this man into my field so I can first see how a healthy, masculine, amazing man looks like and how he would make me feel. Because I could definitely feel it when I was just watching his content. Wait a minute, I have to recharge my computer. Oh, maybe. Okay, I'm back. Let me take a sip. What is going on with my laptop right now? I'm sorry. All right. So, where was I? Right. He's not perfect, obviously. I think he drinks way too much. So I don't think that he's this perfect man that will save me and he's waiting somewhere down the line in my life for me and then we'll be happy forever after. No, he became a reference point for what happened after this. Something very unexpected happened after I watched a lot of hours, weeks, and months of content with him. In the beginning, it was inspirational. Frustrational as well. I was very frustrated because I felt so overwhelmed with all this information. And right, I already illustrated how I felt, and you probably know that too. I started to become very self-conscious and I doubted myself a lot. Why? Because he's super uber successful, very driven, like gets up at 5 a.m., works out for 3 hours, the whole thing. And the problem, maybe this has happened to you as well. When you watch a lot of content with alpha males, just with men in general who are very ambitious, it's nice. In a way, you can learn something about their discipline and their leadership. But they are men. You're a woman. The experience of man from life is more about hardships and challenges. For a woman, it's more through devotion. What's the difference? So discipline is, okay, I always get up at that time and I execute and I make this happen. And even if I struggle and if I feel really bad about myself, when I reach this goal, they still celebrate it. Well, when I feel very miserable along the journey, I don't like that I achieved the goal. It was really worth it for me. So as a woman, we need to experience at something that is already fulfilling on the way. So with my YouTube channel here, right? My goal is not to have millions of followers or make this amount of money. It's just, I really enjoy all the thoughts I have in my head and all the wisdom to let that out and share it with you. And that's so much fun. And I'm so happy if there's just one person just like you that resonates with this. That's why I'm showing up and then there's a good reason I went through this. Okay, so be careful with the male content you watch. They have a different nervous system, and you need to design your life and create a life that's fulfilling to you. You don't need to get up at 5 a.m. unless that feels good in your body. Of course, you can be free to do that. Yes, right. So I was getting so much in my head, and I realized after all the cycles of some things, when I feel bad about myself, something is off. And I realized I want to be like him, but he's not looking for a woman that's exactly like him. Makes sense, huh? He needs someone who matches him and complements him. And I knew I freaking need help with this. And I want a role model, like someone who can show me what a feminine way of success can look like so I can be reciprocal to him. YouTube again. A few weeks later, there was a video in my feed. I think it was called Why Men Need to Pay in Relationships. And I was like, okay, that's a very weird title. I'm not a gold digger. Like, why would I care for this? But it kept chasing me and chasing me. And again, one day I clicked on this video and the rest was history. There she was, a woman, successful, working from home, having an amazing husband, a millionaire. Like, she is herself a millionaire and her husband. Beautiful kids, and just helping so many women with her gifts and her passions. And I wanted to learn everything from her. So I learned about rotational dating. I learned to create polarity, how men are different from women. I completely changed my money beliefs and saw for the first time, when you provide something of value and you genuinely help people, you can make a lot of money from this as well. I always thought only shady people make a lot of money, but no. This woman changed my life, even from her free content, and she became my mentor, and she still is. So 6 months later, my brain was completely reorganized in itself, completely different personality and beliefs. Like, just within those 6 months, after the first click on this video with this man. Then a podcast came out with this man in particular that made me realize I am now my dream woman. And I'm glad that I've never met him. He was talking in a podcast about love and relationships in depth, so really, really deep. What I think is very rare to find on the internet from celebrities. What I totally get. I don't want to talk about my love life, but I do it on YouTube. Okay. Right, Anna. Okay. So he talked about love, and I was a little scared to listen to that content again. Also because, has that ever happened to you? You really like a guy, even if it's just online, and you think he's very smart and intelligent and so attractive and just cool. And then he talks about relationships and love. You just think, no, I have a completely different perspective on this. And then I was oftentimes very disappointed. Has that ever happened to you? So I was scared. But what he said blew my mind. So many limiting beliefs just crashed because of that. And I didn't know that someone like this existed, again, because we completely aligned in our beliefs around marriage, around just life in general, actually. And I was just shocked. Oh no, I shouldn't like him like that. Here's the big aha moment. 6 months ago, so before I watched the podcast, I heard the podcast, I was not a match for him at all. Why? I didn't believe in marriage. I grew up in a very spiritual, open-minded community, so no one is really married in my environment. Didn't believe in marriage. Why do people do that? I thought it's weird to meet a man or date a man who's older than me. Now I learned that there is something called a healthy age gap, because men and women mature in a different way, and usually it depends on the culture. Like some cultures say 7 years. In evolution, it's in evolutionary science, it's usually 4 years. That the man is 4 to 7 years older than the woman. No, wait. So when you appear, okay, I'm 24 and I have a man who's 24. He's actually 7 years younger than me, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So a healthy age gap would be around 4 to 7, 8 years to be with a man who's actually a match to me. But I didn't believe in that before those 6 months happened. So I would have absolutely rejected this man, even though he's right, amazing, millionaire, successful, just such an amazing human with such a warm heart. I would have rejected him and sabotaged the whole connection. But within those 6 months, as I said, learned about rotational dating. I found a definition and just a picture of what marriage can look like and realized, oh my God, that's way better than being boyfriend girlfriend. Like I definitely need to be a wife and do rotational dating. If you don't know what rotational dating is, rotational dating means dating multiple men. Like you go on dates in public and you're not becoming any man's girlfriend. That's rotational dating in a nutshell. This is like a whole video by itself. I've been studying that for years now and practicing it, and it just saved my life very recently with a man that definitely wanted me to be his girlfriend and could imagine a future with me. But when he really had to decide, he chose to let go of me. And that's all I needed to know. And 2 years wouldn't have changed that. So rotational dating has absolutely saved my life. But as I said, that's a different story. However, through learning this, I now believed in marriage. I was open for someone who's older. I knew how to challenge a man like this because obviously a very high caliber man, and I'm not talking about money here, it's more the quality of the person they are with their heart and with their values. It's not necessarily that he needs to be a millionaire. They need to be challenged in a good way without just like hot and cold. I think that's very unattractive in women and men. But a healthy man needs a little bit of, okay, he needs to work for you. And now I knew how to do that. And God was I glad that I didn't meet him 6 months ago physically. So God was showing me him as this North Star of, hey, this is out there for you. This is possible. And you need to work on yourself in order to become a reciprocal. Of course, I don't know where this is going. I haven't found my person yet. I'm very happy with all the interactions I have with men and the dates that I go on. They were all amazing, treated me like a queen, really, all of them. I'm very grateful for this. And I know I only experienced love and dating like this because of this man. He was the initial spark. Then I found my mentor. And now I'm a completely different woman. And to this day, I come back to him from time to time just to remind myself there is someone. It doesn't have to be him, but it's possible. And also sometimes when I felt very lost in dating and I was not sure was this man I'm seeing the right one, whenever I come back to the celebrity crush that I have, the channel, not the crush, when I come back to my channel, I get reminded of how it is supposed to feel. And I know it can sound crazy, but maybe you know what I mean. And at the end, can you see how this was never about this man, really? He is not the center of my story. He's not the center of your story. He just happens to be a part of your dream that allows you to see what is possible, how you can feel, where do you need to work on yourself, and who's the right one for you and who's not. So I haven't found my person yet. I don't know exactly where this is going. It's my love diary. It's an open diary, and I'm very excited where this is going. I think when I meet my man and he's similar to the celebrity that I like, I now know what he went through, what he values and I can connect with a man that's similar to him on a completely new level, because I've seen this man walk through so many ups and downs in his life, and I can understand what such a man goes through. I think that's also very valuable. Yes. Okay, is there something more I want to say? I think that's all. I want to sum that up. All right, are there any questions? In a nutshell, as I said, he was never my crush. I really don't crush on men because like they need to work for my attention, and I need to see them at least, right? Like this man didn't even look at me yet. Like he doesn't know I exist. That's weird. Like why would I crush on a man like that? So he's not a crush. He is a channel, and you can think about, okay, how has, maybe it's a woman, maybe it's a man. No, it doesn't matter. This person on the screen, how has he changed your life? How are you thinking about love now? About men? What has changed since this man appeared in your life? Because he is in your life right now. And there's a reason for this. And you can breathe, relax, let it happen. You're not delusional. Okay? He's a channel, not a crush. And you're definitely not a woman who crushes on a man who has put in zero effort. Just if you need that reminder, I gave it to you. Alright, let's look into the chat. Who is your celebrity crush? I don't know if I want to share this. He is still available, so I'm not sure if I want to share this. We'll see. My celebrity crush was Zac Efron, and then my next boyfriend looked like him. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I think we need role models. And I was just so much in my head thinking, oh, but he's not available. Like, I should not be that unrealistic. We need a vision of what is possible. As I said, right? You can watch all the content in the world about healthy men. If you have no picture how this looks like, it will be very hard to determine. Because you can know it, that, oh, right, a healthy man, he texts you and reaches out to you on a daily basis. He buys you flowers and plans date regularly. Yeah, quite a few men will do this. They will. So you need more than this. And also men who are not a good match for you might do this. But having the vision of what's out there can help you become a match. How to become a match for my dream husband? Okay. Good question. What I've been doing for the last couple of years. There's conscious and subconscious work. So subconsciously, with my celebrity crush, I already have a picture and I don't need to actively do something. It just changes the way I see myself. So you have a dream husband. So that needs to come from somewhere, right? And just by seeing that in a man, it already changes something within you. So there's a part that you don't need to journal out or change your beliefs, but there's something very practical that you can do. What I did, and I operate that from time to time, is a list. So you would write down, let's say 4 to 5, 6 qualities that you would love in your future husband, and you already like it. Like when you see it in a man, you can tell, yeah, I feel. How to know if it's something you want in your head or if it's really meant for you. When it's really meant for you and out there, you have this warmth in your heart. Like when you see a movie, and there's this one scene. Oh, that's a desire, and a desire means it's already in the process of happening, and you just remember it. Sometimes we want things like, oh, I think I need a man who's very wealthy and successful so I can have a provider man that treats me like a queen. Providing is not about money. And you can have a very rich man in front of you, but he's not a healthy man that truly sees you, respects you, and cares for your needs. So sometimes it's in our head. How to become the reciprocal? Okay, list down those qualities and try to keep it around 6 or 7, unless it's too overwhelming. Like, that's not overwhelming if you have more. 6 to 7 qualities. For example, you want a masculine provider man. Like, you need to know what that means to you, right? It's different for everyone. Masculine provider. Else, let's just take those two. Okay, what is the reciprocal of this man? You don't want to be the same. You want to be a reciprocal. So if you have masculine as the wish for your partner, you need to be feminine. And you need to know what that looks like for you and feels like to you. If you want a man that's giving to you, you need to train yourself to be able to receive. That's where polarity comes in. If you want a provider, you need to be able to be a homemaker. That doesn't mean you have to stay in the kitchen. I think that's such an outdated. Whenever I talk about provider, everyone's like, "Oh, so you want to be at home all the time and just in the kitchen and just with the kids?" I'm like, well, that's not really what I think a provider is. For me, a provider is someone who provides solutions for me, who, yes, is paying for like basic evolutionary needs like food and just shelter. That's important, but it's mostly the way he cares for me and tries to find solution, make my life easier. That's more what I think about provider. And as a homemaker, I'm the queen of the home. I'm not the maid, if that makes sense. But I know also how to receive from a man that without feeling, oh, now I have to stay in the kitchen because he is providing for the food. That's transactional. So you want the qualities, like, say you want that he's funny. I don't really know why people say that, but a lot of people say, I want a husband that's funny. I think it's not that important. Funny. Then a reciprocal is someone who can laugh. Can you take life easy and be fun and playful and laugh at his jokes? Does that make sense? So you list down the qualities that you want, keep them brief, because it's just, if you have 10 or 20 qualities, it's too much. It's too much for you and for the man. And you might eliminate really amazing men because they don't have everything right now, but they can improve and develop and grow with you and eventually become a match to your list. And then on the other side, you write how you need to be reciprocal of this. And then you can see, okay, where in my life can I be more receptive? Where can I be more fun and light? So that's a very conscious exercise that you can do while you're preparing to meet your man. Yeah. That's a conscious one. And subconsciously, what I've been more aware of nowadays is to watch movies and content with healthy men. And even women talking good about men. If somewhere, like, I usually don't use this word. Now it's like one of the very few times I do it. Whenever I read something with toxic relationships, I just skip it. I don't do it. I think this word is being used so much and it's not really doing anything for you. It's a label, and I think it's a little bit out of context nowadays, and we use it for everything. Just like love. I think love is also such a broad term that we don't even know what it means anymore. And if you cut that out, that word, it doesn't exist in my world. I just have an experience with the person. And I just see what I needed to learn from this and how it changed me. But all this content with women talking bad about men, stop watching this. It has an impact on your psyche and your subconscious. And I feed myself consciously with movies where there are happy married couples, what is a little challenging with the Western movie scene. I'm always amazed in German TV. Like, every family movie, almost every family movie, one cheats at the other. And I just very recently noticed, oh my god, a lot of the fears I had regarding relationships came from those movies because I just saw this happen all the time, and that, oh, it's normal because that's just so represented. I think yes, you want to be realistic. And I think the mom from my best friend once said to me, yeah, but that's just how life is, and you need to be able to deal with this. Yes. However, like, why don't we have positive role models in movies where people are happily married? Like, I need this. I don't need more relationships that fail, because I see that all the time. And I want to know how to have an amazing relationship. And when you don't have that in your environment, if you have, you were lucky, then I need to find other ways. And that's through my mentor who's happily married. It's through this man where I, for the first time, really felt, oh, something like a healthy man is out there. And I can feel safe and I can feel attracted to a man, even if it's through a screen. There's some protection there as well. I can feel that, and relationships can actually be good. I think because of my more spiritual community background, where no one was really married, and all of the movies that I kept seeing all of my life, I developed a certain fear for relationships because I don't want to hurt anyone. And I just saw so many women and even men suffering, and thought, I don't want to hurt my man. And with him and his parents, my celebrity crush, his parents have been married for a very, very long time. I first said, oh, maybe this attraction between men and women can create something very beautiful. What if this is an option as well? And there's a man out there that is truly good for you. You don't need to know everything, but whoever is in your field, it doesn't need to be a celebrity. It can also be an older man or a married couple that you really admire. They help you change from within and subconsciously through pictures. So you can do the conscious work of the matchmaking list. You're your own matchmaker. And just feed yourself with positive content. I don't watch any YouTuber or on Instagram. Is this a word, Instagrammer? No. Why not? It sounds a little weird. However, I consciously watch couples that are happy. Not because I try to bypass reality, but because I see failure so much and people hurting each other so much. I need a positive example of how love can look like, because I want to love, and I want to give, I want to receive, and especially for my children, I want them to experience the connection between a man and a woman as something sacred and beautiful. So also work for your subconscious and cutting out that content where even if you don't agree with them, it has an impact on your psyche. When I talk about being cheated on, you don't need that in your life. Okay? All right, are there any more questions? Maybe at some point I will tell and share my celebrity crush with you, but right now I'm a little too shy. Yeah. He's Asian. That's a little hint. I know there are many Asians. But yeah. I give you one more minute and then we'll wrap this up. Oh, it was so much fun. I was so scared to share that with you. Yeah. All right. So remember, everyone in your life is there for a reason. And stop fighting it, please. Just be at rest, at peace. Do something for yourself and receive whatever is showing up. You don't need to know everything at this moment in time, but I guarantee you there's a reason for whatever happens in your life right now. And whether it's having an actual breakup or a celebrity crush that's driving you a little insane. Just have fun with your life. It's not meant to be so serious. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, me too. Thank you so much. It was so much fun to talk to you again. All right, that's it. Remember, your celebrity crush is just a channel. You're not delusional. it's preparing you for your future husband. And who knows where this story will lead the both of us. Okay, bye.